Paid in Coursera, free in Infosys Springboard. Please encourage all your children to join that. We will share the link. I believe you must have received the link now. So a small video about CA, yeah? Take only 3 minutes.
Center for Educational Initiatives and Research, CEIR Global.
Sorry.
Center for Educational Initiatives and Research, CEIR Global.
I'm sorry, there is some, we will skip the intro video. So let me welcome Dr. V. Bindu. She is the principal of Osur Public School, Osur, Tamil Nadu, and she is a general convener for CR Global. I welcome Dr. V. Bindu to moderate the session. Madam, please.
Vande Guru. Good evening to the board members, zonal directors, premium members, and all the leaders in education who have joined today with a keen intention to raise the standard of their schools. In the process of implementing NEP 2020, we are getting acquainted with the new policy. Thanks to CEIR for arranging a series of workshops and webinars by experts. We received immense response from all the attendees across the globe, and I personally thank you all for your unstinted support given to us. Let's see announcements of some more projects of CEIR. CEIR has initiated unique training programs for all stakeholders in a school. There are around 80 relevant topics for the school leaders, teachers, students, and parents. Schools can opt any topic or can ask for unique sessions of their choice. One thing is guaranteed, that's quality. We charge a very nominal fee for these programs. Interested schools can write mail to contact@ceirglobal.com or make calls to the given numbers. We all know CEIR has come up with a lot of initiatives like Spring Infosys program. It's already announced in the beginning. And another innovative program is the mindfulness program, which we are launching. Next slide. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we know very well that how regular mindfulness helps in improving our physical and mental well-being. We announced the launch of daily practice lessons of mindfulness from 2nd October onwards. Please note the time, morning 7:30 a.m. to 7:45 a.m. every day. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming you all to the 7th session in the NEP Masterclass Webinar Series Season 2, Action Points for Classroom on the topic Blended or Technology Integrated Learning. Since the onset of pandemic, the classroom is shifted from the four walls of school building to digital mode. The transformation was quick. What was considered as impossible turned out to be possible. Now schools are opening in some states and have already started the physical classes in some other states. Now the concern is how to go with both offline and online simultaneously. We all are pretty sure that digital classroom will be part and parcel of our educational system. Blended learning cannot be considered as new normal anymore. We are dealing with the digital natives who are highly proficient in the use of technology. Challenges are many, but no need to press the panic button as we are going to demystify the term blended learning today. With all pride and honor, let me introduce the speaker of the day, Dr. Subhash B. Nair, Principal, Shantiniketan Indian School, Doha, Qatar, who is the vibrant zonal director of CEIR. Dr. Subhash Nair is the recipient of National Award for Teachers. He is the former chairperson of CBSE Gulf Sahodayas, who has formulated and patented SIS Learn Active Learning Pedagogy and developed sislearn.com portal for flipped lessons. Before we start the session, today's session, let me request you to raise queries towards the end of the session and interact actively using the chat box. And please don't forget to submit your attendance before leaving. Now let's all listen to the words of wisdom from Subhash Nair. This platform is left for you, sir.
Thank you, Bindu ma'am. Thank you for all those nice words. Dear teachers, good evening. Let's thank the CEIR for this opportunity to come together to learn from each other with one purpose in mind, that's making our teaching better. Better, even better. I once again welcome all of you once again and would like to request you to participate and contribute towards the discussions through the chat box. Your inputs will make the discussion rich and we can have a meaningful discussion through your inputs. So today's topic is blended learning. Blended learning is, as Bindu ma'am said, is no more new to us. The technology integration in learning has become inevitable in today's pandemic situation. So what is blended learning need not be asked to teachers because teachers have their own views. Now let's think about what teachers perceive blended learning as the main means or system of education in schools today. So as far as I understood, it has different elements, components: face-to-face learning, online guided learning, and self-directed learning. Now, NEP is demanding some changes the way we teach. We will try to make this webinar to follow a blended learning approach if you're ready. We'll have three phases: face-to-face learning, online guided learning, and self-directed learning. In all these phases, we can depend on digital tools to make learning effective. There is no definite sequence of these phases. The sequence is decided by the lesson plan and learning objectives. Our purpose is to effect better learning for all our students to attain the learning outcomes. Just think about the traditional system of teaching, which is not practiced anymore. The traditional system had mainly the face-to-face learning. In this diagram, if you can see, the central part, a small rectangle, represent the quantum of face-to-face learning, or the learning obtained through face-to-face learning. The main ways of learning has grown out of that face-to-face learning, the two other components, guided online learning and self-learning. It becomes clear to us that blending of these three systems of learning makes learning deeper. So to start with, I would like to select from these three videos. I have got discussion videos of students, teachers, and leaders. You can put in the chat box what you want, which kind of videos you want to watch. Students, okay. So as most of you think what children perceive as their expectations of learning, I think we should go with what children talk about digital tools and the learning supported by digital tools. Okay, give me a minute. I'll just try to present my screen. Okay, fine. Okay, here we go. One second. Yeah. Okay. So this is a video of discussion with children. I was in conversation with children to find out what their expectations about digital learning, blended learning, or using or integrating digital tools in learning.
Online and physical are both pretty fun the way they are. Physical, we have activities, paper cutting and such, and in online we have quizzes, activities, such. But I would suggest is like give a bit more time, because you see, students can get confused sometimes with long words and such and all. So if we give them a bit more time, maybe they can have time to understand, or we'll take a few classes for them to understand one word. They give examples and Google slides like about matching and writing and such. Also they give sometimes Google forms to like take testing options and such.
Oh, testing.
Yeah, like testing. Plus the Google form they use in exams, so there will be like two parts. One are like giving the Google form and the second like writing. So it'll be like testing your knowledge and writing skills.
So are you happy with learning in the remote classroom and also in the classroom?
Yeah, both are very interesting the way they are.
So I can't really choose, because the physical classes we can see our teachers, we can meet our friends, and we can go outside to get fresh air, and we can clear our doubts by seeing the teachers. So basically the teacher just flips the lesson into the whole classroom and teaches in the physical class. And remote classes we do interactive stuff like live worksheets, Kahoot, quizzes, all those stuff. So if I had to choose, I would choose physical class, because we can see our teachers, we can see our friends, and we can clear doubts, we can talk to our friends. Live worksheet, Kahoot, they all have like quizzes, like it has flashcards that can say the question, and you can revise the meanings and stuff. And there's also tests that you can test yourself, like if you have to revise for the exam. So exams, you can have it easier for you to learn, and it's much more fun to learn.
What makes the school's education distinct for me is the SIS e-learning portal. Our school is it has advanced so much over the years, and the SIS e-learning portal, I think, has helped with that a lot. We have a lot of materials, the weekly worksheets that we get, the quizzes. I think that has aided a lot for me, because I like to write. I think that helps me learn a lot, and the school has done great. The teacher will be explaining, and then there will be some concept that, like, at that moment you're supposed to grab the concept and think about it later on. But what happens sometimes is that, like, you remember the concept, but later on you need it again. So if the teachers would be able to upload the recorded sessions of what happens in the class later on in the classroom, because what happens is, since we don't have these sessions, we're forced to go to some other sources, for example, like on YouTube, and we have such videos. But if we're able to, learn from the teacher itself later on, for example, we're doing a worksheet, but we can't remember, oh, ma'am said something, but I can't exactly remember, we'd be able to go back to those recorded sessions, and we'd be able to do that work. And so I think that if we were able to get these sessions, it would be of much help to us.
Everything was so fun-based learning. Like we had the integration of Kahoot, Jamboard, Google Slides, and all the different types of Google platforms like that. I was introduced to many of them, which I didn't know before, and I feel like it's really fun. It's really fun-based because when we are attending some interactive quizzes like quizzes and Kahoot, like it's increasing our speed to attend the questions. Like for example, Kahoot, there is a time limit. So for mathematics, that's exactly what we need. So I feel like Kahoot is a really excellent tool for us to help us prepare for competitive examinations that require a lot of time management. So I feel like it's so nice. Yes, I feel pressure is good actually. Personally, I feel pressure is really good because as students, it's natural to fall lazy when things don't go right, and students have a way of procrastinating things for the end of the day. Personally, I feel like when my parents are pressurizing me to do something, it fuels me and it helps me to do more. And students have a mindset that learning is stress. It shouldn't be like that. Learning is fun, but it should be taken in a serious way. One factor what I expect the school to do is for chemistry and physics, where we need application-based learning, I feel like more lab work should be given. Yes, because I believe that there are a lot of online tools in the Google platform that could be used so that the lab work could be shown online, because those subjects require application-based learning so that we can understand.
In the online classes, we don't really have that much of an interaction with the friends. It's usually the teacher and the student. It's almost one way. So if it's a group to the teacher, and then we can always work together, and several other skills will be improved as well, the presentation skills and working together as a team skills. So if that could be done, it would just be absolutely amazing, because already it's very good, but I think that will add a lot more to the online experience. So what we can really do in these online sessions is for subjects like physics, chemistry, math, biology, after a concept is taught, we can directly have quizzes, and we already do have them. But for absolutely every concept, we can have them. And then for subjects like English and biology, in which we have to retain a lot of things, certain dates, certain names of scientists and all that. So what we can do is we can talk about the scientists, or we can do some, the students can themselves do some backup research and work on the things that we'll be doing. So what we could really do is, if we are given some, for example, already we have some homeworks that are given to us in Google Classroom, but if we are given some like research work or dig deep into this topic, that sort of thing. So if we can really have some outside the textbook learning, so that will actually help the concepts that we learn retain themselves in our mind better, and I think that will really benefit in our future also, because that's especially for the science stream, research work and all of that is very important. So
I've actually shared some link for this Padlet. Children had their expectations expressed, and they were having a natural response to my questions. If you got this Padlet link, can you please register? Just click the plus button, and then you can add some inputs. So just put your name for us to know who is making these inputs. So you state, in short, one of the expectations of your students on use of digital tools in learning. Okay, Mr. You got this link. I've shared the link in the chat box. So I had discussed with children, teachers, and the school leaders about their expectations or their challenges of digital tools, using digital tools, having a blended learning approach. Okay, I'm happy that many of you are joining, and we can collaborate to share ideas, and others can post in the chat box. Even in the chat box, some of the expectations of students, because we have the purpose of teaching them and making them understand. So according to NEP 2020, what we need to attain is better comprehension of concepts. Yes, smart learner, okay, discipline. You can continue using this Padlet. So this is one tool which we can very well use to get our learners' viewpoints, ideas, suggestions. So I'm happy we are having so many inputs. Interactive, okay. Okay, easy to learn, eager to participate, be responsible, developing skills, joyful class, good. So this Padlet page is going to be available. You can use the link and keep on posting whenever you get an idea about your students' expectations, collaboration, okay, activity-based, joyful lessons. Wonderful response, wonderful response. Okay, I've, yes, about 60 teachers responding simultaneously to what I asked, and this is really active participation. Okay, I'm very happy about it. I want you to listen to the viewpoints of teachers, your viewpoints about blended learning, and that makes, so this is actually a face-to-face interaction of teachers with all of you. What they're echoing is your viewpoints. What do teachers consider as blended learning?
Blended learning is bringing two different environments together. The rich, direct face-to-face environment and the enriched e-learning environment. For me, it is giving students more opportunity. It gives them a hold on their path, the time, and the pace of their own education. For me, it's all about accountability, inclusion, commitment, responsibility, personalization.
Is a mixture of learning methods that incorporate multiple teaching models, most frequently e-learning and traditional face-to-face learning. Most children have unique learning styles, and a blended approach is more likely to cater to those needs than a traditional classroom teaching experience. Blended learning allows students to work at their own pace.
One of the newest concepts of pedagogy in the education system is blended learning. Now, the word blended used in this concept itself tells us that it is a mixture or a combination of two systems of education. One, online teaching, that is using digital learning objects, and two, offline teaching using active learning methods. Now, this blend or combination comprises of three components. One, a face-to-face teaching and learning guided by an educator. Number two, usage of digital learning objects, and number 3, structured independent learning facilitated or guided by an educator or face-to-face
For
teacher.
example, students might attend a class taught by our teacher in a traditional classroom setting, but they can also independently complete online concepts outside the classroom. In this case, in a traditional classroom setting, time may be either replaced or added to an online learning experience, and our students would learn about the same topics online as they do in the class. That is, the online and in-person learning experiences would parallel. But the most important thing is they have to complement one another.
I also asked them,
So, what are the challenges as a teacher we face in the blended learning situation? So, for me, there are so many challenges coming across my mind, but I wish to share one important challenge which is relevant, which I feel. So, that is planning or organizing the digital content itself is a challenge as a teacher, because we should make sure it should cater all the types and styles of learners, should be relevant, should be reinforcing the concept, and it should be rich in quality rather than quantity, so that students should feel it is inspiring and motivated and become independent learners.
So the one of the challenges which we face at the senior secondary level is students have a lot of stage fright when it comes to talking and
There are a few other challenges that we face. I have been facing in the kindergarten section, which is the children. They have working parents, and the children are left all by themselves to attend the online classes. So that has become a big challenge for the children, because they don't have anyone to support them, because they need help still. They still need help, though we are guiding them how to do activities or writing or which book to take, and how to go about doing a Google slide. They still need assistance.
challenges as a teacher. What we initially faced was getting accustomed to the digital system. The next step to me, accordingly, as a teacher, what I expected, that students, they are smarter. If we are smart, they are smarter. But then it was difficult for them also to get into that digital platform. And first of all, I did have a problem with the attendance. Students would join late and they would just wake up and come to the class. So, getting them accustomed to the formal classroom environment was one of the challenges that we faced. Challenge that I faced. Secondly, making them settled and grabbing their attention throughout the process. So those 40 minutes class, we need not only teach. Our main objective was to make them learn. That is the end criteria, that as a teacher I should be comfortable and confident about that what I have imparted is grabbed by the students. So at the same time, uh, uh, engaging them throughout the session was one of the challenges that we faced.
As a teacher, one major challenge I face during online class is usage of the digital tools. The teacher needs to be updated with the digital tools. She needs to explore more. What I observed is students were initially very happy to try the digital tools they were given, but now they are lazy to use the digital tools, and they're more happy using quiz type of digital tools rather than typing and doing that work. As a teacher, I have observed that students are very much confident to communicate during the physical classes. The students are opening up. Even I have observed the students, while they remain silent during the remote class because of certain students who are dominating during the class discussions, these students are being pushed backward. But during the physical class, I see that they are even smarter than these dominating students in the classroom. And blending of digital tools, when I ask them to write on certain topics or to think more about certain topics, students are not getting a way to research during the physical classroom. But during the online class, while I integrate numerous digital tools along with the Google Slides, students are having a way to access various platforms, and they are able to find out different concepts related and present it in a very beautiful way during the class. And students are able to relate with the concepts, and they get a big picture of what is going on in the classroom, and they can summarize it also very well.
I'd say the internet is an ocean of options.
And we have to constantly, as teachers, find new ways to keep the child attention towards the particular subject, whichever subject it may be. Because the saying goes the old toy becomes boring. So we have to keep, as teachers, we have to keep on looking for new applications, or uh, being a part of the learning process also, where we get suggestions from children of how to use or implement a certain game where it comes to languages, like where they feel confident. So when we talk about the confidence of the children having to speak over the online platform, they are a little reluctant, is because they are not very sure of the information that they have come across on the internet. In comparison to when it's physical, when a teacher tells you that this is the right way of saying it, or this is the right way of doing it, they feel more confident in that on that front. So to build up the confidence and also the sense of responsibility, where we have to let the child understand that it is okay to make a mistake. It is perfectly okay, but it's also important that we have to rectify the mistake and not have to repeat that mistake once again. So that is what I inculcate whenever I see that a child is, possibly an introvert, or maybe apprehensive of coming out or wanting to say something. So I start off with easier questions. Like, for example, if I can give, we start with tenses. Like, what's the first thing that crosses your mind when we talk about tenses? So the easiest answer would be like, sir, past, present, and future. This is what I am doing right now, what I am actually teaching. Hence, that builds up, and then I applaud the child. It's like, good job. That is exactly what we are talking about. So the next time you see this child wanting to answer again, so we cater to the student in such a way where it gradually builds up the confidence and allows the child to actually shine, or be like the other students who are actually extroverts.
Regarding the remote classes, we have a challenge that is, especially for the smaller classes, the reading and writing skills. The writing skills are badly affected because there is no personal touch. We are checking the work, whatever from our side we can do, but we could have done much better in the physical classes. Like, we used to go around, we used to correct the children, but this time it's very difficult when they are at home and having many siblings at home. Some of the cases are like that, they are having siblings at home and they're not, parents are also not capable of catering to their needs. Like, we have to intervene, but we can do it to a certain limit. So hopefully we will be able to meet all these challenges when they start coming physically in full strength, and we will be able to help them out in these areas.
Yes, these are the teachers' viewpoints and the challenges they faced. Now, yes, expectations. See, already I've I've shared some link in the chat box, okay, in between. And thank you all the teachers who have already started posting challenges. Performing experiment may become a challenge. The OLAB, etc., will have its own limitations. Yeah, many have stated performing experiment, students engagement. Even though there are some digital tools, the quality of engagement of students with learning is a challenge. So we need to find out which tools are exactly meeting these requirements. Okay, bonding between the student and the teacher, the rapport to be built. So in the online platform, there is a limitation. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm stopping this presentation for the time being, and you keep posting in the Padlet your response about the challenges. Challenges are many. So let's move ahead and let's come back to this idea of the depth of learning, face-to-face learning. The limitation of time causes very little to be learned from teacher directly. So there is so much more time available for children for guided learning using online tools and in the online platform. And of course, The third element of self-learning is what makes learning rich. We need to actually ask a question. Who decides the authenticity of blended learning system that we practice? So we always have a confusion of what exactly is the pattern? In which way we can practice blended learning? So this question is there in our mind all the time. Now, can we go to menti.com and use the code which is shown there, 909871114. Okay, I have a few participants entered. I'm just waiting for a few more. Can you quickly enter? You just go to www.menti.com and give this code number 909871114. You can use your mobile phones, your tablets, laptop. Okay, so we have so many joined, and let's see what is coming. What is coming there as a question? So there's a question. Blended learning that you follow is authentic if it is, so two options are given. Let's see what kind of options you select. Yeah, so this is a time. Okay, I got, yes, I'll just quickly present the result. I just quickly present the result. 1 second. Beautiful, 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 beautiful response. So the response shows most of you agree that the proper theories are not what is important. Whatever blending that you do, if it improves the result in terms of better learning of our children, that is the authentic form of blending. Oh, excellent. Excellent, excellent. Okay, now we will quickly go to the leaders' views. One second. I also asked our leaders mainly about the evolution of blended learning in school system.
Now, when we look at the synchronous, the asynchronous, and blended effect that we are having in our teaching learning process presently, with the hybrid learning, where earlier in 2013, thanks to Mr. Sharman principal, we had started the e-learning portal, where teachers were trained to put up worksheets on the e-learning portal, and that in itself was the beginning stage of our digital progress. Even though adequate training was given, teachers were getting used to that. So on the asynchronous side, where uploading of material, uploading of worksheets, uploading of modules also on our SIS Learn, teachers were familiar with that, very familiar with that.
Whereas since we are having the opportunity of using different digital tools, we can make use of it as per the interest of the students. So by including different tools, we will be able to make use of the online platform and the blended learning to include all the students who are of different levels. So that will enhance their learning in a better form. So we should educate them the correct usage of the digital tools, for which the values and principles should be properly inculcated, and then they should be educated to be responsible learners.
There are some challenges which has come up, like social issues, and economical issues. There should be another scope of offline digital tools to be used. if we have some digital tools which we can use offline without internet, then that also will help to students to learn at any given time.
Now what happened is adequate training had to be given to the teachers to build on their confidence, because for them they were used to the bubble of school and this kind of environment, school environment, whereas now they were exposed to parents as well as relatives and friends that could have been in the house listening into their lessons. However, with training and with getting familiar with our GMeet and our Google Classrooms, teachers gained their confidence with the adequate training that we gave. Now coming to this hybrid that we are in presently, where we are having the asynchronous, all our lessons are flipped into our e-learning portal. It's also flipped into our Google Classrooms, and also on SIS Learn we have modules uploaded there. That is there for the children, where they prepare themselves before they come to the Google Meet for the face-to-face online remote classes. And what we are actually concentrating on now is activity-based learning more than teaching, because the material is already there. When the child comes, the child is getting this experience of working on various tools with various kinds of assignments.
Very true. When teachers started off with the online teaching, it was a very different, as you rightly said, it is a public domain and teachers had to face this challenge in a very positive manner. But with the training sessions, with the orientations, the teachers were they were gaining confidence and they were ready. And I can now very proudly say that teachers have really developed their remote teaching skills to a level where they are really enjoying. They're not bothered who is saying.
But with the advent of the digital tools and the integration of all these digital tools in the effective learning teaching process itself, the school, most of the institutions have come up with the pattern of assessment as well. E-form tools are being used, or are the different learning digital integrated tools which are used for the learning process. So that has also been added to see that is how far that the concepts have been attained by the students.
Children have learned to be independent learners in comparison to the time when they would come to school and totally depend on the teacher and even that extra help from the teacher. So, and then they were able to ask questions, so that built their curiosity as well. So there were discussions created based on what they were experiencing through this practical way of learning. Limitations to this is that these children are missing out on their soft skills, so we need to find some ways in which we can develop these areas as well as they are doing with the independent academically learning.
The teachers adopt a very, very comprehensive and integrated approach to make lessons very delightful and engaging by integrating warm-up activities, hands-on activities.
I think all of us would agree with that, this digital platform has enhanced the skill of students and also the skill of our teachers. Other than the independent way of doing it, it has also promoted a lot of group activities, that is the collaborative way of involvement of the students.
Yes. We need to ask more questions. Please write in the chat box what different aspects of NEP 2020 will be satisfied if we resort to blended learning. Okay, I think you have so much to write. The chat box is available for you to post your response. See, NEP is talking about holistic education. So their skills need to be developed, life skills need to be developed. There should be emphasis on conceptual understanding. So it's not just some topics being taught at school. Children have to understand the concepts very well. Their creativity and critical thinking need to be enhanced. The skill development need to be given more importance. Extensive use of technology. That's one important aspect highlighted in NEP. There should be extensive use of technology. Everybody should become so well-versed with the technology so that efficiency can be improved. Full equity and inclusion. It's not we just teaching a few of them very, very limited number of students really understand what is being taught, and others just are blank. That's not what we want. We want everyone to be included in the process of learning. Whatever may be their level of understanding, their style of learning, their knowledge base, we have a responsibility to include everyone in the process. Inclusion and also equity. Our children should be experiencing fairness of treatment, equal opportunities to be given to all to excel in what they're doing. Teachers and faculty at the heart of learning process. So who should decide what kind of blended learning should be there? Not theoreticians, not educationalists. The teacher should decide. The teacher should decide whether I have to flip the lesson or I have to start with face-to-face teaching. So when you flip the lesson, the guided instruction takes place first, and then they come with a little bit of knowledge about the topic, and more student engagement is very much possible in the classroom once they have some idea about the concept. Blended learning, even though they have different components like face-to-face learning, guided online learning, self-instruction, these things can be mixed and matched. There's no sequence. The lesson plan should decide what should come first, then what the sequence will be decided by the lesson plan. The need the teacher feels about realizing the learning objectives. So what we are interested is in the learning outcomes. So we have already taken these expectations and challenges. Now we need to go and experience in the Mentimeter. I've just given, I'll just give the, 1 second, the number to be used. We have one more Mentimeter for the digital tools that we use. Okay. The digital tools that we use. I've shared. The code is 43629074. 43629074. I can copy the link and put it in the chat box. So various tools that we use as part of our teaching. Now let's consolidate more digital tools here. I've given the link in the chat box. Can you just reflect? Just give the short name of the digital tools that we use. There are so many digital tools becoming available. One second. While you submit these responses, we'll go on to the next activity. If you look at this slide, if you look at this slide, there is an activity that we can take up to collaborate in the digital platform. There are so many tools. You can just, if the Mentimeter is not responding, you can post in the chat box. I might have wrongly clicked to close it. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, there are so many tools that we use. So I'll give you a link. So this is Google Slides. So participants from my organization can participate. I have given the link. Ms. Mukta, you can also share the link. And I'll just present to see what happens there in the Google slide, where many teachers collaborate, work together. So in the classroom, this is what happens. Teachers collaborate to work together. So these slides are empty now, but with no time, the teachers who have joined can make the slide rich based on what they have learned. So we have asked them to prepare a presentation on blended learning. Okay, I can see people working. This is a presentation about the tools normally they use for blended learning, for digital teaching or learning in the digital platform. Okay, I can see, okay, Google Classrooms. I can see some slides are getting finished so fast. Grammarly, there's so many tools available. The learning resources. Okay, live worksheet. Okay, I can see here. Yes. The Shahnaz is working on this tool and Kahoot, Google Slides, Quizlet, live worksheet. Oh my God. So thank you very much, teachers. Keep working and I'll come back to you. Thank you very much. So we are using many digital tools during the teaching learning process. Okay. So yeah, certain tools can be shared or collaborated with only members of the same organization. For example, the Google for Education platform allows the members of the same organization to collaborate unless otherwise specified by the administrator. So certain limitations are there. Otherwise, we can collaborate with these tools within no time. A lot of resources can be developed. I'll just once again quickly look at what they're doing. Okay, I can see more slides being prepared, getting finished. Beautiful, beautiful. I can see here, Nek Praveen, Miss Nek Praveen is posting some resources to teach skeleton. mathematical tools. Okay, and some teachers are, Juveria ma'am is listing down a lot of, yeah, Miro, whiteboard, FI, Edpuzzle. Yeah, Edpuzzle is another tool where you can insert questions between the video frames. Okay, thank you very much. Now we are moving on to a very interesting part of the session. Okay. Initially, I told that we will have all the different components of blended learning. So can we come to the guided learning session? All of you can actually take some course on, let's not say it course, can use some resources that help you to become better in using these tools. See, for example, this is what Mr. Dudley, our vice principal in that interaction, was talking about syslearn.com, a portal for flipping lessons. So there are so many courses in this platform. So one interesting part is teachers training. So some of the courses in teachers training are these, the digital tools for effective learning. If I join as a member, I'll be able to see the curriculum, what materials are posted there. So I can see a set of quizzes posted on various digital tools. So if I look at the interactive PowerPoint presentation, if I click on that, okay. I'm not going on to the details of the lesson. So these are what Mr. Sreesan was referring to as a series of lessons developed by our teachers. So this process is for our teachers to gain confidence in using these digital tools. So they have developed a lot of lessons, and these things are available in YouTube and also here in this digital tools resource from the portal, Syslearn portal. So along with these videos, some beautiful quizzes are given, questions are given, and they can take these quiz and they can see how better are they in using these digital tools. So we have developed this portal mainly for teachers to flip their lessons, short lessons. So children will be guided to take these lessons. There'll be some videos, some explanations, some text of information and quiz questions. So they can have this course before they come to classroom, whether it's physical classroom or classroom, a remote classroom in the remote platforms. So the learning will become more meaningful. They'll get involved, especially their children are very much interested in taking quiz, where nobody is threatening them with the consequence of lesser mark they score. Nobody is asking what scores you got in these courses. It's for their own understanding of what they have learned. So there are so many courses, short courses teachers are posting. So we can create, teachers can create platforms or portals for guided digital lessons, the online lessons. So this will make learning very effective, and that's our experience. And I'm very happy to share with all of you that one of our teachers is going to receive Government of India's National ICT Award for Teachers. It's a very rare honor for teachers. A very less number of teachers are being honored for their genuine contribution towards ICT at school. So this is one of his creation, his work. He created the platform for teachers to collaborate. Through collaboration and continuous contribution, the portals grow. And all these resources will stay there forever. Now let's come to a small assessment for ourselves. Okay, I will share the, I'll stop my presentation and I'll share the link for this Google quiz. One second, give me a minute. Okay, I'm posting it in the chat box. Okay, I posted this link for the quiz. You can take the quiz. This is a very short quiz of 5 questions based on the digital tools. And you can take the quiz and post your score in the chat box. You can proudly post your score. Yeah, the link is posted here. Oh, okay. Sorry. Everyone in the meeting. I'm taking. Okay, sorry. I posted in a different group. You can quickly take the quiz. So we are talking today, we are discussing the most simple aspect for teachers to understand what is blended learning. There is nothing much. It's a very simple concept and idea. But this simple idea of blending face-to-face teaching with digital tools will make learning so much effective. We have seen in all these schools, we are experiencing the influence of these tools. If these tools are used correctly, so that's very important. If these tools are used in the best possible way, children will get the benefit. They will be interested to learn. They will increase the speed at which they learn. They will gain the confidence and they will achieve better results. And we believe that every child can learn and attain higher results, higher performance. So the teachers now have the added responsibility to include every child in the process. We cannot exclude everyone from learning. So the focus is on learning, and the heart of the teaching process is teacher. Teacher is at the heart, and teacher decides what kind of teaching we should make in the classroom, in the physical classroom, in the online classroom, whether it is synchronous, asynchronous. So what kind of assignments we can post, what tools we use for children to take up the assignments, qualitatively rich assignments that will enable them to learn. The formative assessment for learning. So I can see the results, response. 115 participants have responded and got the results, and it's actually a good result. I can see the normal distribution curve. If you're interested, I can show you, I can make the presentation. Okay, this is the result. Okay, more people are taking the quiz. Okay, there is one realization that we have to make. we need to be extremely clear about the usage of digital tools. There's no need for us to use it for the sake of using it. Each tool to be used with a purpose. The purpose always is making children understand it better. So I can see a small, this is not an easy quiz, so you have to be careful, and you are supposed to be giving such kind of quizzes to children, not very easy quizzes, and very easy quizzes will mislead children, and they will not have a clear idea about their own attainment of concepts. So if you have made some errors in some responses, there is a scope for reflecting upon why I made this mistake. So it can be a difference in perception. It can be a problem in understanding. It can be a problem of outlook. So thank you very much, all of you, for a wonderful discussion. And I would like to give more time for I'd like to give more time for questions, interactions. Bindu ma'am,
yes,
we can devote more time for questions.
Subhash sir, it's really speechless. It was a wonderful session, and not a single moment we can wink our eyes. Really takeaways and power-packed session. So I think the feedback in the chat box, actually that support what I personally feel. So thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to interact with wonderful teachers.
Yes, from the audience side, any questions? You can raise your hand, virtual hand. So we will be unmuting you. So you'll be able to ask the question directly to sir. Yeah, Shakir Hussain. Reason?
From your side, sir. We are okay, fine.
Shakir Hussain.
Good evening. Good evening. Actually, through this question, I would like to raise the attention of many decision makers. Okay. The actual thing, when I was looking at the video of the leaders, okay, one of the leaders suggested to have an offline some application which can bring in more participation from the deprived students. Because if you look back, what is the situation in India? Situation in India is that in the remote places, children are not able to access or enjoy these tools. So what can be done in order to provide them access to these type of tools in the offline mode?
Mr. Zakir Hussain, I'll give you a very radical answer. Okay, so what you have asked is a way of thinking. Now, if there are children who cannot access these tools, what we should do? According to me, there should not be any child who is deprived of access to the tools. And that's the responsibility of governments. If governments have got that intention in mind, it's not a big challenge. It's not a big challenge, even for such a diverse nation like ours. There are many villages are actually working hard now to provide access to digital learning for children. It's possible. So now is the time. So far, we didn't have the compulsion, but now is the time for us to provide such wonderful opportunities for our children, and they deserve it. Of course, if till they make it possible, there could be alternatives. And of course, the educationists and the government officials should definitely look at it. But there is no alternatives to the digital tools available online. So in the cloud, it's an explosion of digital tools. And our children should get access. That will make them grow in the right way. That's what I think should be done.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Listen, more hands have.
Yeah. That Nisar
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to just add one more point. What sir said, really, that should be there. The tools must be available for all the children. But as an individual, like if you are in a school and there is the need, there are such students like who don't have access to such tools available. So what I think, like the IT department of a particular organization can really play a very important role in this, wherein they can use different tools and techniques and their programming skills to create simple tools for such kind of students. That can be an initiative with some basic things which can happen and which can help such kind of students.
You're right. You're right, Ms. Bilkis. Cost-effective or tools which can be generated with very less cost is possible. So that's a challenge for all the ICT professionals, IT professionals. Definitely more such tools will emerge. The expensive tools are not going to survive the market. So less expensive, more efficient tools will emerge because that is the requirement of the time. Thank you for your inputs.
Madam Srivalli.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
The session was very wonderful, sir. I have a small request. Actually, as a part of inclusive education, we have children from various communities, especially from the villages and tribal areas. So there, the children are facing is they are not aware of the tools. Even a single Google form, they are not able to open up. And the major issue what they face is your internet issues also, sir.
Yeah.
Because they have only a daily package, which may last for hardly an hour or two, may not be for a longer hours. So as a part of them, how do we try to make them educate and make them what we want to convey to them, the lessons or the concepts? So can you just help us in that way?
Yeah, if I am their teacher and if internet is available at that part of the world, then I will not hesitate to pay from my pocket for data that can access internet. So I will have a lot of joy in seeing those children using these wonderful tools and learning better. So teachers and all others who can contribute towards this cause should come forward and should be magnanimous to help these children. And it's happening in many places. I know it for sure. And we can, and resources should definitely be mobilized because it's their right to learn. It's not a favor shown to them. It's their right for education. And governments and all these establishments, the corporate and societies, communities, all are responsible to ensure that with no time, such a big progress is made in our country with the implementation of national policy of education. This should happen. There's no other way. Things will improve, ma'am. We are very, very optimistic about it.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, I too feel that net would be easily available, just like air we breathe.
Yeah. Yes.
Mrs. Regit.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity. Sir, really, you've given a lot of tools which is available there in the system, what we can use and implement in our teaching learning process. But I have a different version in this. Nowadays our children, they are using digital platform from morning to till at what time the classes is going on. Till that they are in front of the system, or they are in front of the laptop, or they are in front of the mobile phone. My worry is how it is affecting their mental health and their physical health.
Yeah. See, learning is part of children's life. So they are spending more time in front of devices and having more screen time will happen even if they are not formally asked to learn from the devices. because that evolution has already taken place. Of course, we can restrict, we can regulate, control, we can have a time-bound program for them, we can limit their screen space. All those things are possible. But this is part of a natural evolution. Not only children, adults are also glued to, in front of the devices. And they're also, even while walking, they're just holding their mobile phone in their hands and walking. And it has become a kind of lifestyle. But unfortunate, I fully agree with you that optimum use of devices and digital tools are required. Quantity is not what matters, quality matters. The tools which are the best for children will make them think critically should be used by the teachers. There is no need for having so many assignments to be given for engaging children throughout the day. That's not required. Very limited number of assignments which will make them really think, and very effective assessments that will make them learn. That's what is required. You are right, Mr. Srijit.
Yeah, Madam Nimi Ganeshan, you can unmute from your side, Nimi ma'am.
And why I'm unmuted? Yes, thank you so much. Sir, it was a wonderful session. And it's not a doubt, sir. It's actually, like the problem that we face. Mostly most of the situation talking about internet and all those things, apart from all those things, the manpower that we have, the teachers out here, it's a big challenge, to again train them with great difficulty. We come to PPT and Google Forms and test most questions. And, to make use of all these devices itself, you need so much of time. Sometimes it brings us to a level where you got to reshuffle the manpower that you have. They are not able to. This is a big challenge that we have. Of course, I do understand, though there's a lot of dichotomy, we just have to go in for what you say. We can't just shut our doors and say, no, I don't want this. We got to go for it. I do understand, sir. But this is a major practical problem. I don't know about this,
Yes,
the big tinsel cities, other places. We got to shuffle, we got to send people out, and we got to recruit again.
No. It's not sending people out an option. Ma'am, this is the need of the hour. Empowerment of teachers is quintessential to NEP. Without empowering teachers, NEP is not going to be implemented. So different schools, different places will have their own ways of empowering teachers. The existing teachers need to be empowered, should be allowed to develop their skills. There are so many ways, and in our school, we are seeing it happening, and definitely we get a lot of satisfaction and joy in seeing our teachers becoming better through their conscious efforts to empower themselves. The self-instructional courses they develop for their colleagues, and they use it. And we have the teachers training portal created by our teachers. So we have to have in-house programs and development of resources. And that is the best way. We can't afford expensive training programs by high-end experts. It's not required. Among ourselves, there are resourceful teachers. Their services can be utilized. They will also be deriving satisfaction and joy in creating such platforms and programs for their colleagues. And the cohesiveness of the family atmosphere of the schools and institutions will improve. So we need to try those ways rather than saying that it's difficult.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I do understand it is indispensable. I do understand. State of art in teaching cannot be, we can't close the door. I do understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions, ma'am? Bindu, ma'am?
I don't think any question in the chat box.
Mr. Season is worried about closing the session early.
No, nothing like that, sir. We have 11 minutes, exactly 11 minutes time.
Yeah.
I think, Srisan, it would be good if you show the slide which you were not able to do in the beginning. So the next programs could be seen to the...
Yeah.
They have been shown.
Okay, ma'am. This is the next week program.
So the 8th session of the masterclass webinar series.
And there is one rescheduled session also there on 9th that we will announce next time. So we can use the same link for that session.
Very true. This is a wonderful session on equitable and inclusive education next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. So don't miss this program. It's a wonderful resource speaker is there. And the other programs are, the Infosys program and
that we have announced it.
Yeah, please show that then.
So that we will share to them, ma'am. No problem. We will share the.
Mr. Season.
Yes, sir.
Our quiz was taken by 485 participants.
Oh, okay. Great.
And a beautiful result, a normal distribution I can see. Still, it's skewed towards low end. Okay, you want me to present it?
Please, sir, that would be great.
And stop
the screen sharing. Yeah.
I too attempted.
Yeah. So we have 485 responses. Okay, this is
50% almost attended, I believe.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And see, in our Padlet, a lot of inputs we got. Hundreds of inputs that we got. So our teachers were really active in responding to our request. Okay. And then the other one, the blended learning and challenges. So many responses we got. I'm very happy that teachers participated.
That's a kind of practical section, sir.
Yeah. Now, this is what happens in the classroom also when we use this kind of tools for collaboration. Children will become active. They will listen to the teacher's explanation. And every now and then, if they were asked a question, a very relevant question, to remember, to reflect, to think. So then the learning will become very useful. Updated digital content. Connectivity is a huge challenge. Planning and executing the same. So the most important aspect is planning. The lesson plans should be meticulously done. So that gives the essence of learning some purpose. Very consciously, teachers have to plan the lessons to include these three elements: face-to-face learning, guided online learning, and self-learning. If these three are included in the learning process, learning will definitely be effective and children will achieve better results. And they will not be afraid of tests or exams if they're confident, if their knowledge is strong, if their skills are developed, they don't need to be afraid of tests and examinations.
Dr. Subhash, sir, I have a doubt. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
In that question, in that assessment form, you have asked the step.
Yes. So in between, we discussed there is no such rules that you have to follow certain sequence. So that question is based on that.
Yes.
It depends on your plan. If you want to give self-learning first, you can give. Let them learn and come. So you can flip the lesson, allow them to learn, and then you can guide them with some kind of resources, and then we can have face-to-face interaction. That's also possible. That all these things are based on the lesson plan. There is no theory that this sequence need to be followed. Yeah. So most of the teachers made a mistake there.
Yeah, I thought it's such an intriguing question, but beautiful. Over to Dr. Sreesan.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
No more announcement, ma'am. This is the main announcement here. That next Saturday session. So that feedback will be shared to all now. So I think you can give your vote of thanks, ma'am. We are almost.
The Royal Society of Chemistry session.
That we have shared to them. No problem, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay then. So, any more questions? I think we are coming to the end of that session. And if I am asked to summarize the session, the fabulous session, I'd be telling something like
Dr. Bindu,
yes.
One more small input. See, whatever we discussed today, whatever we have seen, all these things are available in the portal sis-learn.com/blended/learning. So I can give a link in the chat box. So all these materials that we have seen, the videos, and also about the digital tools, all these things are available in that portal. So which we created for this session. So all these participants can freely access those resources. We'll be very happy if they visit this portal and get the benefit of reviewing it once again. Thank you. I'll give the link in the chat box.
It's a wonderful website. I have seen it while you were discussing. I was
this is created by our staff, and I already told you that the main person, Mr. Shyam Krishna, is going to be awarded the National ICT Award for Teachers. So it's a beautiful, it's a wonderful achievement for him and for the school.
Great, sir. So that if I am getting a chance to summarize such a perfect session, I would just tell you that learn, practice, and refine. The tools which will make them think critically must be used. Wonderful, sir, for your wonderful idea. Those tools, we should select those tools which would make our students become critical thinkers. That only we need to choose. And another thing, planning is the core idea of everything. Lesson planning and the subtle way of mixing all these things in the classroom. That is the blended learning. So wonderful session. So let me take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Subhash Nair for his great informative session today. You have made us all wonderstruck. So thank you. We would be using all these tools in our classrooms, and we would be instructing our teachers, helping them to grow more. And let me take this opportunity to thank CEIR for providing such fabulous sessions to all of us and all the members of the board, especially Shahjahan sir and Dr. Srisan Gobinath and Vijayam Karta ma'am. Many are there who are all the pole stars of this organization, and many are there. And let me take this opportunity to express my thanks to Miss Manila ma'am and the team for conceptualizing this wonderful idea of Saturday Masterclass Season 2 webinar series. And I'm so thankful to all the zonal directors, premium members of CEIR, and all those who have gathered here, who have still been there, and no one has left. Still, the number is about 700. Just 2 minutes before, it was 900. So I'm so happy to all of you for being with us, for the wonderful encouragement that you are giving to us for the growth of the whole country. So I'm so thankful to everybody once again. Let me conclude. So this Veda Handwriting Lab for providing this opportunity, the platform for us. So thank you, Veda Education team, and they are providing handwriting lab campus programs. So connect to CEIRglobal.com, CEIRcontactglobal.com, and then you will be getting all the ideas, and use our app. You will get all the inputs there. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you, ma'am. So let us, meet next week, same time. Vande Guru to all. Vande Guru. Special thanks to Subhash sir and Bindu ma'am. Both are part of CEIR. They have conducted this program very well. So meet you next week. All the best wishes to all the participants.